Okay, now let's talk about parallax bump and thin film shaders. So at the first, I want to talk about parallax bump. Let me just create new materials, and I have a new plane here, and add this material to this plane. And simply, I'm just going to off the reflection, going to bump, and in bump, simply add a gradient, and maybe just create a radial or circular, and adding more than once, like this, and changing the color, changing like this, and maybe create white in here. Now we have this kind of look, and if I just change the strength and also parallax sample, and now if I hit the render, you see that we have a very nice extrusion that we would just when we see that it's imagining that we create with deformance or anything else without this parallax. If I offset down this, you see that we don't have such a thing, and we can see it in different directions, and it's a kind of look, it's a material. But when we change this to parallax and parallax sample, let me add some more looking to it, and also create a white in here. Now if I hit the render, you see that we have a very nice extrusion, and it looks 3D, and it looks that we've created this with deformance, and it's having a parallax effect, and we can just see it just in render. Very nice. So that is from parallax, and you see that we can create this with deformance, but in material, when we add this to displacement, it doesn't work in the same way, and in the same way of parallax. We can control them. You see that. So that is from bump, and let's create a new polytonic, and in here, let me create a new material and add this in here, and also add reflection, maybe backman. And now if I go to fixture, as we mentioned in thin film, if I add this, we can control some of the thickness and some IOR, index of reflection, sorry. And also we can add textures on IOR. For example, if I use this to be a glass, it's just a preset. And also now if I hit the render, you see that we get a very nice. Now if I create in the sky and create a new HDRI map to have a reflection map, because we don't have anything to reflect, load image, and if I add a stereo reflection to it, also go to compositing tag and scene by camera off. Now if I go in here, you see that we have the reflection, but it's very small amount. If I go to material and also colorize this very nicely, and maybe change the color to just see the result very good, and also go to thin film and thickness, very good, and also go to polytonic and increase the segments. You see that we have some reflections in here that look very nice in these areas. And let me just delete this platonic and maybe change, create a landscape to have a more amount of what should I say, amount of displacement, and scale level, and also sea level, maybe weight segment like this, and scale it down and add this material to this. Now we see that with this we just create a very nice shaders in these areas. You see that without any light, without anything, with thin film shader, you see that we just create a very good looking reflection. If I change this, for example, if I delete this, clear, it is the normal reflection. You see that it is not so cool, it's not good. But if I add some thin film shader in here, you see that we just create that kind of look without any lighting or anything else. Just create this kind of reflection, and we can also change some of the parameters, thickness or anything else, or index of reflection, amount of reflection you have. For example, if you have water, the reflection would be 1.3 like this, and you see that it's very cool, very nice, and very artistic. So that was from new features of Cinema 4D R18. Hope you guys enjoy, and if you need to go in depth of these things and just see what we can create with this type of with this new features, check out other tutorials, check out other sources for this. And in this class, was just an overview to these new features of Cinema 4D. And if you have any question, feel free to ask me on the description of this class, or and also don't forget to check out other polygon motion classes on Skillshare. My name is Ichi, and see you guys next time.